Hey everybody, it's Bruce's Nature Calls, and I'm up here, one of my favorite spots, Gem Lake in the North Cascades, Snoqualmie Pass. We're almost at the top. I mean, we're at roughly, I think, 4,900 feet. Came up here and I brought the Zorali two-person tent, their ultralight tent. They're from Australia, and so it was fun because I do have Australian viewers. So I think it's really cool because this will be mainly sold in Australia, but it's pretty neat. They went some different design features that that's what I'm always interested in. It's like there's so many tents and so many of them look alike. What did they do with this one? They made it definitely higher, more volume inside. And they added things like the awning doors, which is really nice. Everything's done really nicely. They use 15D grid stop for the rainfly and around the bathtub. The bathtub's 20D. Lots of great viewing. I was up here because there was supposed to be a meteor shower, so I left the rainfly off last night. It was fantastic. They've got all kinds of pockets and things like that are really nice to be able to use. Didn't see any of the meteor shower. I must have crashed, but it was I think it was between like 10 and 2. I think I was well asleep by 10 o'clock. So, this is really cool. Definitely different design because it's so high. If you can see, I mean, this is much more volume on the inside. So you'll see that in a minute, but let's do a setup on it. Now, first we're going to lay out the tent, of course. They've got black clips on this end, red clips on the foot end. So you'll get to know those kind of things. But that color coding comes in later, which is really nice. They've got super nice ultralight stakes. They're nice and long. I like the length. Of course, up here, I always add a couple nice long ones. But when you lay it out, like there's no wind today, but you want to somewhat fix your tent, at least in the meantime, in case a big wind comes up. And so we will do that just for grins. Now the poles are awesome. Look at these bright red things. There again, they've got black coated on that end. And see, where's the red code? It's the same color. So that one's got the red. So you know which end to put it in, but it's the whole hub, one piece. I gotta say, these poles are a lot thinner than I'm used to, but they are using high quality 7000 series aluminum, which if you're a skier, that's kind of what you want if you're like a professional skier. If you're using aluminum poles, 7000 series, they can really take a hit. They've got nice long ferrules. See, now this is the black, so the black goes in there. Now, as far as fabric is concerned, I've got something left in there. My inReach. They have 15D up here, which is about standard. On the bottom, they use a 20D, which is about standard. So, and the newer fabrics of course, the better they get. So this is pretty recent fabric technology. They do have a footprint that's made for it. Now, what's fun about new tents and tent design is you try and figure out what the designers were thinking of. And one of the things this tent was definitely thinking of was headroom and big room, big volume inside. Instead of, like some tents, they go for lower volume, lower wind resistance, less fabric. But definitely tell that there was a need or an ask for high volume on the interior on this tent. So, it's got a lot of volume. But being high volume, so say there was a little bit of wind, I'm going to bring up the tent from the bottom up to see how it reacts with the wind, because this will get really tall and it has really square sides, and so wind could really wreak havoc with this tent. And their clips are about standard for these ultralight tents. You know, they're not big, but they're definitely heavy and they're easy to get off. So even if you have gloves, just a flip of the finger and you've got it off. So let's bring this tent on up. We have a cross pull. Nice. So hopefully you can see the volume of this. I mean, it's pretty high. So when you're inside, you're definitely not going to feel claustrophobic. You're going to be able to sit up and more. And then these bring it out, which I think is nice. A lot of tent manufacturers are starting to do this, so it's not that curve in that a lot of tents, when they're trying to cut weight, they curve it in. So what happens, especially when you have the rain fly on, the rain fly is going to be right out here. So you're not going to, if you do have to open the doors, you can keep a lot of rain out of your tent. So pretty cool. Let's put a sleeping pad in there. It is a 2-person tent. Bring that all the way over. So I can definitely fit 2 of those X beds in. It definitely has that taper in at the foot. It's a little bit narrower. So big tip of the day, a lot of tents now are starting to make the head end and the tail end the same, because majority of sleeping pads, people are getting the wide or the 25-inch, not the 23-inch. And so that's what sales are showing. So some tent manufacturers are starting to go with the 50-inch wide, which, why not? Because you can see I've got room to spare. And if you wanted to do, yoga, downward dog stuff, you got a lot of room inside the tent to exercise, to stretch. No claustrophobia in here. And they decided to go with a 2-zipper door. There's nothing wrong with that. It adds another zipper fob. Yeah, decent door. Nothing wrong with that. You get in up here. It's the right approach for the door. Very nice. Rainfly, it's nice they have the same color coding. Normally what you have to do is get these crossbars hooked up. So I normally try and get these on first. It's a little pocket, heavy vinyl. So that's going to go on that end. And then we have those color-coded clips, go around the whole tent and clip those on. And I go ahead and tighten these all the way down before I do the vestibules. That's how I do it, but you can do it however way you want. But for me, I want to get the structure really good. This is the structure part of the tent. It does have the little Velcro things that go around poles. It seems like a lot of people don't know about these, but in a storm, these are all a part of your tent's design. And so you got to find all those and clip those on if you've got a storm coming in. Get the vestibule in. There's like a rock right there. Big, huge vestibules. And that was something I was looking forward to see, because I want to kind of break up the wind, to give the wind some kind of a break. You got a nice big vent, the kickstand. Oh, wow, that's great. That goes all the way across the tent. So you want the wind to come up through here, go through, and carry the condensation all the way out down here to the back. It'd be nice if they had a way to pull that out, but you know, it's good. So there's I'd like to see a little tie out right there, but you see it's not connected. This does not come down the ground. It comes down, and then you have your bathtub floor taking up the rest of that. So that of course saves us weight, but it really increases the ventilation. And they got the standard line locks. Nice line. I like this little more rigid line. I'm sure it's got the reflector cord in it. I like this more rigid line. That's a nice choice. And then the line lock, pretty much standard ultralight size. Guess they've got all the guy lines out, and I do recommend if there's any chance of wind, because that could always mean there's more wind. So they've given you enough guy line. Let's see if they've got enough snuff. They've added an extra one. So it's definitely got a good front force on it. So I've got 3 more. Okay, so they've given you enough stakes, which is really nice. A lot of times they don't give you enough stakes for all your guy lines. That's great. Nice if there was one more guy line. Maybe right here, if you're listening. I'm not sure where, but it's in there nice and solid. The key is you want to get that tent down on the ground. So it's got force. It's the aerodynamics of a tent are to push it down onto the ground. So that is great, actually. That's really nice. So let's show you what we can do with these doors. We've got 2 zippers. Oh, yeah, that's where it is. Oh, that's very cool. Okay, so you can take this and make yourself an awning. How fun. Let's do that. All right, so there's a nice string here. So just give that a few tighten up wraps. Extend this pole out. Like that. Very cool. And so there's plenty of room for your backpack in the vestibule and shoes. No problem. Let's open this all the way up. Now here you have all the doors tucked up nicely, but nice ways to keep everything orderly. This would be a great way if it's, if you want to still be able to see outside, but there's a chance of rain, so you're ready to go. That's just beautiful. But also, for just getting stuff in and out of the tent, you can do tons. So now, if you were going to do the awning thing, I'd add at least 4 more guy lines, 3 at a minimum. Definitely add like 4 more stakes to this kit. I mean, they provided enough. I mean, in an emergency, but if you really want to go all out, that's what I would add. One design feature that I think is really neat. So they made it so you can vent from the top. So you can add ventilation from the top. That's really neat. Or you can bring it down, something like this. So if you have like a dog that you want to keep in there, or a baby, you can easily see what's going on. Now you do see this type of door system in tents that are in the snow. So usually their bottom goes all the way down to the floor, the dirt, or the snow. What's nice about that is that you can bring this down to the level of the snow, and so you're not tracking in a bunch of snow. So not that this is a snow tent, but I think that's a really neat design feature because it does add that extra bit of ventilation pretty easily. That's pretty cool. Like that. Yeah. You're going to get tons of ventilation. So your condensation happens in every tent, and the way you mitigate that condensation is through ventilation. So very nice. All right, so there it is, a Zorali ultralight backpacking tent, 2-person. Zorali has been doing a lot of great stuff with a lot of clothing and things like that. And they do have another backpacking tent that's the nylon, which is kind of standard, nothing wrong with it. But this is where you start losing weight. They used the 7000 series aluminum. Their aluminum poles are a little bit tight. Oh, let me show you something. That's really cool. It's a little fix-it kit, and it comes with, a little bit of bug netting, a little bit of the brown, a little bit of the blue, and it does come with a pole repair kit, and that's a nice length. So a pole repair kit. What's really cool is they provided some seam sealer. That is really awesome. A lot of tent companies charge a ton, or they don't send it with the tent. I'll definitely seam seal this tent up, but all the sewing looks good, but nothing wrong with seam sealing. That's where this and a couple extra guy lines were in that. What a great little kit. Love it. Yeah, I don't think I could have picked a better place, better weather. The Zorali tent did great. Definitely tons of volume. No problems in that department. And it seems like everything's sewed the way it should be sewed. They've got reinforcements where it should be reinforced. No, this is going to be a lot of fun. As far as like big winds, it does have that higher, bigger volume. This is the wind side, so I definitely get that thing nailed down tight if there's any kind of wind. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, for just standard backpacking, you don't think there's going to be serious storms. This tent is just great. All right, see you out on the trail. Bye now.